My name's Chef K. You're watching Kitchen This. This is my live cooking show. Do it at least once a week. Some weeks we even do it more than that. And tonight I'm really excited because we are making Dapper Joes. So you may be really familiar with a childhood favorite, Sloppy Joe. This is a Sloppy Joe, but it's just a little elevated. It's got a little bit of a twist to it. And I call them Dapper Joes just because they're a little bit fancier. And whenever I think of like a Dapper Dan or a Dapper Guy, I'm like, okay, it's got a little sophistication, a little bit of style, a little bit of finesse. And that's exactly what this sandwich that we're gonna make has. It's gonna give you all the flavor, remind you of your favorite Sloppy Joe. It's just not gonna have the meat. Y'all know that I am trying to incorporate more whole foods, real foods, a little bit more of a plant-based lifestyle. And I am bringing that to you all because I think what better way than to hold myself accountable to make it in front of you. So that's what my Dapper Joes are. They're real food, a little bit more plant-based without the meat. If you watched us last week, you know that we made walnut meat tacos. Hey everybody, hey. And I'm going to be using the walnuts again this week, primarily because I have them in my kitchen. I want to go ahead and get rid of them before I go grocery shopping, trying to get all these new ingredients in. So I was like, why not go ahead and use the walnuts in my Sloppy Joe mix? Like, that'll be perfect. My family loves Sloppy Joes. So if you are watching and you are cooking along at home, always let me know in the comments. I can like hold on. If it's your first time, swipe the comments to the side on your phone. If they're on your computer screen, you are good to go. I am gonna start out by going ahead and getting my walnuts into a really nice, not all the way to a puree. I'm just gonna use my food processor to chop them up really nicely. So think about more along the lines of a mince, if you will. And then I'm gonna get them in the oven to start toasting while we start actually making the sauce. Other thing I love about these Dapper Joes is that they don't take as long. Really, if I do a Sloppy Joe with a turkey or with a beef, I want it to be able to kind of sit and stew and soak up flavors a little bit longer than these Dapper Joes need to cook. So that's another benefit, is you'll have dinner on the table in like 35 to 40 minutes. It may be longer for me because I chatted up a lot, but for you at home, 35 to 40 minutes. So these are just my walnuts that are going in here first because they go in and then I get them into the oven and I get them toasting primarily for color. So toasting brings out a little bit of their natural oils, so you get a little bit of that flavor there and a little bit of moisture. But the biggest thing is that color. It just kind of tricks me because I'm like, oh, okay, this is resembling meat. I like this. That's what the walnuts do for me. Hey Becky, how are you? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, nothing but walnuts, and get this. Nice pulverize on them, that's all we need. We were talking about things last week, and I really, really love when we can learn in the kitchen. And what we're learning is that there are some foods that kind of remind us of the organs or the body parts that they help. One of the things we were talking about with walnuts is it's called a brain food. It's really, really good for your brain. I'm taking all that into account right now. Quarantine has kind of given me the opportunity to reevaluate and spend more time learning about things in the kitchen. So I'm excited to share that with y'all. Y'all always have to let me know if there's anything that you have learned or you've seen online and you're like, okay, we need to chat about this. Let me see what Chef K thinks about that. I would love to hear it. Okay, so my walnuts, just like that. Perfect. Really, really light in color right now. I want to get them toasted because when they come out and they go into the pan with all my veggies and my great sauce, that color is going to bring all the things I love about a Sloppy Joe to life. So, 350 degrees, going right in. And I'm going to set my timer for about 8 minutes, just because right around 8 minutes, I want to give them a check. I do not need to clean my food processor or anything. Leave that off because now I am going to go ahead and get all my veggies ready. Could you chop these by hands? Yes, but I do feel like when you're going for that Sloppy Joe kind of feel, hey Miss Paulette, that you want everything to be as fine as possible. Like you want that to really be a sauce. You don't want to have all these chunky vegetables if you can help it. So I do a little bit of the work for my food processor. I'll need about a half a carrot. Chop those ends there. Really nice pinch grip on your blade. You want that. Hi, Mrs. Evans. And I am just going to get some nice round or rondelle pieces here. And then I'm probably gonna stack all those really nice round rondelle pieces, as many as you can handle. Cut them in half once, and then cut them in half again. So now I've got these little quarter pieces. Again, I'm just doing a little bit of the work for my food processor so that it doesn't have to work as hard. Carrots are gonna be going in, and then I'm gonna have bell peppers, and I'm also gonna have onions. So the whole process of what happens and why I'm getting this done first is that get it all really nice and chopped up. Then we're gonna start sauteing, pulling out flavor from all of these veggies. And then we'll go into some seasoning. We'll deglaze our pan just a little bit. And then we'll pull our walnuts out and toss it all together. And then while it's doing a little bit of a stew, kind of cooking down, getting flavorful, we'll toast up a bun because a sloppy joe is nothing without a toasted bun. And then we'll plate it all together. I had a really hard time thinking about side dishes for tonight. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm going with a cup of fruit, but y'all let me know in the comments. So let me know, what do you think a really good side dish would be with our Dapper Joes? Sloppy Joes for some, but again, I love calling them Dapper Joes because it's just fancy. I like it. A different word. Gonna come in with my onion. Again, doing a little bit of the work for my food processor. But let me know in the comments what you would want with your sloppy joes. All right, last bit. Oh, I'm filling this baby up high. I'm doing a fruit cup. I'm thinking like apples. I'm gonna do some, I'll probably do like some apples, some grapes, and maybe some oranges. Just because. All right, get all these veggies. Okay, letting my pan heat up. Let me talk to you about all of the seasonings, everything that's gonna go into this that's gonna make it the sloppy joe so much better than a school lunch sloppy joe, like really, really good. Your mama's sloppy joe elevated it to the Dapper Joe because of using the walnuts. So once our veggies go in, making sure my pan's really nice and warm, I'll grab some olive oil. We'll saute those around, getting them really nice and tender. Another thing that helps when you do them in the food processor like this is the cook time is reduced. So the veggies are smaller and you don't have a big carrot chunk that you're trying to wait to get softened. Waffle fries, yes. Okay, yeah, waffle fries would be really, really good. You don't have big veggies that you're waiting to get softened. They're a lot smaller. It helps you on your cook time. Veggies are gonna go in. Then we're gonna add all of our dried seasonings and spices. So when I think dried seasoning and spices, there are 4 main ones I'm using in here, not including salt and pepper, but 4 main ones. I'm using cayenne pepper, I'm using paprika, I'm using chili powder, and I am using celery seed. Cayenne pepper, paprika, chili powder, and celery seed. Those are my walnuts that need to be tossed around, so let's toss them. Better safe than sorry, set the timer. All right, so a little bit of color, not a whole lot here. Let's see, toss them around just a little bit more. A little bit of color on the ones on the edges. All right, my pan is really nice and preheated. Gonna go in about a tablespoon of oil. let that roll across the pan. Make sure your pan's hot. Make sure you're getting these little legs, these little streaks in the oil. You want that. I don't want to put veggies into a cold pan. Nice sizzle. You'll see some recipes that will call for you to put the seasonings into your food processor. I talk about this every time that I use my food processor. You'll leave stuff on the edge and around the side. Don't waste your seasonings putting them into the food processor. Put them in after. Don't waste them in here. Put them in the pan. Or you take everything out and you toss it into a bowl. Do that. But there's no point in you leaving something on the table or leaving it in the food processor when you want it to end up on your plate. All right, so I'm over a medium heat. I'm gonna get all those spread out. It smells perfect already. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna move everything over to one side. Going in with my next few things. I really like to use my pan, and this is all recipes, so you'll see this across a lot of my videos. And if you see any of the recipes that I post, utilize your pan. Sometimes a recipe calls for you to put something in 2 pans. You don't need to. Utilize the space in your pan. I'm pulling everything to the side. That way I can get here and I can deglaze like I want to. So I'm gonna come in. These are fire roasted tomatoes. You can use really any tomatoes that you like. I like the fire roasted ones because it has this little kick to it. So my fire roasted tomatoes going in on that side. Into the fire roasted tomatoes, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Color, for sure, and thickening up of the sauce. Color and thickening. Now I'm adding everything on the side because I want these to cook a little bit on their own before I add and mix everything and it marries together. I want these to cook so I don't have this raw tomato flavor that kind of cruises throughout my dish. I don't want that at all. So I'll break up my tomato paste here, tossing all those fire roasted tomatoes around. Now let's talk about a little bit of sweetness. So we've got heat going. You don't want this dish to be spicy on fire. You want it to be just an even, well thought out dish. I smell my walnuts. I think they're perfect. They are. Nice and toasted. Set those there. So you don't want this to be just a dish that has a lot of heat. You want it to be even tone. Flavors everything, balances well. So into that fire roasted tomato and that tomato paste, I'm gonna add just a little bit of brown sugar. Brown sugar is gonna give you the sweetness that you need. Bringing this sauce together. Again, I'm on this half the pan. Turn it this way so hopefully you all can really see it. All that's over there, it is okay. If you are just finicky and you're like, oh, I don't know, you can give it a little toss if you need to. It's okay though, as long as you're over medium heat. Don't cook too high because you think that everything's gonna come together faster. High heat doesn't make it come together faster. High heat makes the fire department come faster. That's really all that happens. I don't really cook anything over high heat. Now, one thing I really love about making this sauce for myself is that I'm not using one of those seasoning packets, and I don't have any control over the amount of salt that I'm taking. So I know here exactly how much goes into the dish. Keep into account your tomatoes, but still, I know what I'm putting in there. And now we're gonna start adding the liquids. So yeah, there was a little bit of liquid with the tomatoes, but now we really need the liquids that's gonna bring everything and almost give it that stew mentality where it softens it up perfectly and gives it that moisture we're looking for from a sauce. Liquid comes in a couple of different forms. Veggie broth, for sure. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little tang that we need, and a little bit of Worcestershire. I don't care who says it or how you say it. Worcestershire, it always brings a smile to your face. So use it whenever you can, because it's like immediately when you say it, it's like, okay, yay, yum. Okay, so tablespoon of apple cider vinegar going in. Balance of flavors here, y'all. We've got sweet, we've got spicy. Now we're gonna have a little bit of that tart. Worcestershire. Now, this is honestly the one ingredient that makes me not advertise my Dapper Joes as vegan. So I don't like to go without it because the Worcestershire does add this little smoky undertone that I really, really need to the dish. It's not the same when I try and use my liquid aminos. So if you went without this, the dish would be totally vegan and I would advertise it as such. But adding the Worcestershire in there, anchovies, if you didn't know, anchovies in the Worcestershire sauce. But it has this little flavor that it's missing without it. All right, and now my broth going in. Stir all of that together and bring it to a boil. This is one step that you don't want to skip whenever you are making your own sauces, when you're doing things from scratch. You don't want to skip bringing your sauce to a boil. That really, really allows everything to marry together. All of the flavors get to know each other. And if you don't, you'll really be able to taste like, oh, that's a little salty. Okay, maybe that was your veggie broth or chicken broth, whichever one you use. Or you're like, oh, I can really, really differentiate the carrots from the onions. It's probably because you didn't let everything marry together. So bring it to a boil. As it's coming to a boil, go ahead and add your walnuts in. Walnuts coming in, making sure I'm getting my protein. Yes. Mix everything together. I also want to give the walnuts a chance to soak up some of the moisture. You don't want to have like a cracker kind of filling. You still use the Worcestershire? Yeah. Now, I'm gonna let it boil a little bit more, and I want to bring it closer to you all because I promise you, you got the walnuts in there. You cannot even tell that there is not meat in this mixture. I got a pan heating up behind me, because that is going to be where we toast our buns. I'm not doing this on a bun that's untoasted. It's not worth it. It'd be a waste of my time to make this delicious dinner if I didn't toast the bun. Okay, everything's come to a boil. I'm gonna move it actually behind me to finish while we tend to the buns. But y'all, look at this. Tell me that it is not full of ground turkey or ground beef. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. All right, so I'm gonna keep that going behind me. Let's prep our bun. A little bit of softened butter, whatever your favorite butter is. Go the extra mile and let it soften. It's worth it. Trust me, go the extra mile, let it soften. It's worth it. It's not even really a whole mile you gotta go. It's just a couple of steps, let it soften. All right, coming right across. And on the other one, I thought long and hard about what I was going to do for dinner for y'all tonight. And I honestly decided early this morning, which is weird because I normally have the whole week out planned for meals, but I decided early this morning that I wanted to do these sloppy joes. just because my family was talking about sloppy joes. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess we could. All right, buttered buns. Don't skip this step. Buttered buns. Don't skip this step, please. It's vegan butter if it matters, if you want to go that route. So let's get our pan really nice and preheated. I'm gonna go ahead in. Yes. Sizzle, sizzle. Set those there. Ooh, yum. And then whatever toppings or accoutrements, whatever you want to go with your Dapper Joe, because it's not sloppy, it's Dapper Joe, add that. I got some pickles here. I got some onion slices. I may even chop my pickles up and put them on there. Hey Des, how are you? But think about that ahead of time too. I know folks that like a slice of tomato on their sloppy joe. Delicious. I know folks that when they're in the mood, chop up some slaw real nice and fine, put that on the sloppy joe, go for it. I'm all about whatever you're about. Hey Miss Luann. Ooh. Okay, all right, I'm getting excited. If you don't get excited when your food's coming to the table, or you don't get excited when the food is about to come off of the stove, we can still be friends, but we'll have to get you to the point where you get excited when food is about to be ready. Okay, so letting this finish up a little bit, let me go ahead and taste it, get my seasonings together, get my plate. I got my fruit in the fridge. Yes, I pre-do my fruit and then I chill it because I just want it to be that ice cold when I get it. I can. Get a little bit of this, let it cool off. So I always talk when folks message me and you coleslaw on yours, Miss Jarita, okay? I'm pretty sure my mom's done that before. When folks message me and they're like, what are you cooking tonight? What are you doing? I never want to be like disappointing them when I don't have something extravagant, because I'll be honest with y'all, here lately, I've been trying to do real simple whole foods. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going for. I'm at a point where I'm really focusing on my wellness, on my fitness. I don't know if y'all see my post about where I'm trying to get outside every day. So you're gonna see a lot more of that. Just really whole foods. You could do this dish with one of my favorite brands, Morningstar. They have these veggie crumblers and I would love it. Same dish, omit the walnuts, do the veggie crumblers if you want. Absolutely love Morningstar. So if you're opposed to the walnuts because of a nut allergy, or you're opposed to them because you're just like, I don't know, I want something a little bit more substantial, then try and go with that. That's another really great alternative. Okay, I think it's cool enough. Y'all, nothing left on the spoon. I just because. Okay, this is good. It needs the pickles. The pickles are gonna take it to the next level. I think pepper and a little bit of salt. Pepper and a little bit of salt. That's what it needs. And then we're plating. Yes. Des says that's perfect, especially for quarantine. A little bit of salt. Yes. Okay, that's perfect. Just because, I mean, I don't really have to because I feel like my wrist action was on point, but just because. Let me see. Yes. It's so good. And the texture is there. It's the one thing I love about doing the veggies like that and then doing the walnuts. I'm not missing on the texture. It's not mush. I feel like sometimes we get to a point where the items are pureed so much. Maybe it's a soy product. You're trying to use a soft tofu, something like that. And it gets pureed to the point where you're like, oh, it's baby food. I don't want it. You don't have that here with the way we did our vegetables and with the walnuts. Plate it up, let's go. So, keep it in line with the simple, healthy videos. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Delicious, I love it. Simple, healthy videos. That is actually what the entire month of June is about. Literally, the entire month of June on Kitchen This is gonna be all about our health and okay, all about our health and wellness and fitness. I mean, there may be some of y'all on here that know I did used to run a burger joint, so my bun toasting game is definitely not subpar. I don't want to say it's like amazing or anything, but I mean, I'm giving myself a pat on the back because I'm loving it. All right, bun looks great. Toast it. Don't try and do it without it. Thank me later. Argue with somebody else. I got this other one on purpose just for this. Here we go. Yes. I'll make sure I get some of the sauce from under there. Okay, so we are at the point, if you know anyone on your Facebook feed that is looking for healthy, whole recipes and some fitness tips, looking to just get a dose of extra encouragement, please, please, please share this video with them now. Because in June, not only am I going to be focused on bringing you some really, really healthy recipes and meals on live, I'm going to bring in some of my really, really good friends, colleagues, some people that I've met professionally and some people that I know personally that are going to talk to us about our wellness and health and fitness goals. I am so excited. Like, I can't wait. June, the planning for June has been outrageous, and I am excited to bring that to you all. So please share it. Is that enough? I think it's enough. Okay. It's gonna have to be messy when I bite into it. So please share this with someone that you know that is looking for a little bit of extra dose of encouragement. That bun too, y'all. A little bit off the sides, you know. Y'all check it out. Look at Sloppy Joe. Yeah, Miss Dorita says, look at the bun. Okay, because the bun is where I'm splurging here. Veggie, 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 veggie. Okay, 2 buns. Great. It's all right. So please share this video with them. I can't stress it enough. The month of June, I have some great guest speakers that are going to be coming in, talking to us about our goals and about different things that we can do both in and out of the kitchen. And I am excited to go on that journey with you all. I think it'll be a great accountability for myself, and then hopefully another option for accountability of anyone that follows along on the page. All of those events will be posting all throughout the weekend. So you'll be able to book your calendar for June, 1 or 2 events if you want to come and see what we're talking about. Super excited for that. It's the summertime. You want to stay healthy as you come out of quarantine in different phases. So please, please, please stay tuned. Now my pickles, I did not forget. I didn't forget my pickles. I might leave them on the side. Cause you know, when I actually eat, it's gonna look nothing like this. I'm just saving this for the photo opportunity. Once I dig in, it's like, it's gonna be Dapper Joe out the window. It's back to Sloppy Joe, but right now it's Dapper Joe. This is my actual dinner. So at the end of Kitchen This, I always want to finish it by blessing my food. My fruit is nice and chilled in the fridge, so I can't wait. And I'll bless my food. Say a prayer for everybody that is getting out there and back into the world in phases. If you're just joining, I'm Chef K, Kitchen This. We made dinner in about 40 minutes, and it is very, very substantial. It's going to be filling. So here we go. Dear Lord, we come to you today. Please bless this meal. Bless the meals that are also in the kitchens across the nation, the hands that prepared it. May it be nutritious for us, everything that we need to fill our bodies and our souls. And please bless everyone that's having to return to work, all of the families that have been impacted by COVID-19 COVID-19, everything that's going on in current events, Lord, we ask that you just cover them. I am so fortunate, so blessed that these folks have come to join us tonight, and I ask that you protect them wherever they go throughout the night, throughout the weekends, and I hope that they make it to see me next week and every week after that. In your name we pray, amen. Y'all, I am going to dive in. I'm really, really excited. If you have questions, whether you're on the live or you're on the replay, please put them in the comments. And I think that's it. Events are posting all weekend. I hope to see you RSVP for 1 or 2. Totally up to you. Y'all have a great night. Bye.